Okay, so I sprayed it pretty heavy. I used the Latour fixative, Sennilier La Carte fixative, because I'm using Sennilier paper, and it seemed to work really well last time. It did a nice fine even spray. Even though it's quite cold outside, it didn't behave as badly as my Blick fixative behaved the other day. But also it's just not as windy, so that could be it. I think my paper is a little crooked here, which means I'm going to have to get up and adjust my camera too. So, but I was just thinking, you know, getting ready to redraw, I want to be sure my paper is straight, parallel, because otherwise when I redraw, there's a really excellent chance I'll have lines that aren't plumb. But it does mean I just need to move my camera a little. I used to just wish I was famous enough to have my own framer. And now I wish I was famous enough to have my own videographer. Okay, and turn my heater back on and hope I don't roast myself. All right, so I'm gonna come back and start with the sky again. And I'm going to try to be done with the sky so that I can really finish the trees. Okay, so the good thing is, even though I've got all these pastels out that I'm using, because the fixative darkens it, it's not like I'm just picking up the same. The colors won't look the same even if I use the same ones. So I can add to my color even if I'm using some of the same pastels I already was. Yeah, I'm not sure I like that little cloud over there. So remember, you're a designer, you're not a copier. I'm trying to paint what I see, but I'm not copying it exactly. I'm interpreting it, and then whenever I get in big trouble, then I try to remember, take a closer look and be sure you're really doing what you see and not what you think you know. I kind of find that I don't really actually know all that much. And if you have any doubt that you don't know much, I mean, maybe you will turn out that you know more than I do. But draw something, just draw something without looking at it that you see every day that you think you really know what it looks like, and just see how that goes. And then draw it again when you're really looking at it and see what the difference is there. Yeah, see, I sprayed it, but I don't have the feeling, quite the feeling of recovery of surface like I do on the Pastel Premier. It already feels just a little goopy. That's actually a very technical term there, goopy. God, it's terrifying in a way to have everything I'm saying recorded forever. It's like one thing just to say these goofy things that just pass by and then they're gone, but... All right, I'm going to use some white. Wow, see, it's got a little scratchy place, so... When you get a little scratchy place on your pastel, try to turn it over right away so it doesn't wreck your painting. And clouds have a lot in common with drapery. The last pastel demo I did was drapery in terms of soft edges and hard edges. So I honestly think this edge of the cloud is on top, this darker edge is on top of the light. So I just want to be sure I put that on top. The higher up the clouds are, the closer they are to you. So unless these two clouds are separated by a little bit of sky, then this cloud should be on top of the other one. Yeah, so the sort of the idea is this pushes you here, this pulls you back, and now the next thing I've got to try to do is see if I can use those trees to pull you down. Oh God, I was going to redraw. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to redraw a little bit anyway. And I know I kind of really just want to redraw with my pastel, and you know, you can definitely welcome to try that. I just know for me, I'll probably make things too repetitive, and I'm trying hard not to make things repetitive. That's a lot of my focus now, is trying to, and I'm not trying to do everything I see because, wow, that would not go down right there. Isn't that funny? I can't draw everything there personally. I don't have the patience or the fortitude or whatever that is. But I am looking at specific things as I draw in an effort to avoid repetition. So if you look up here and you see your little branches are too evenly spaced, then you just want to break it up. So this space is different, this space, that space, this space, this space, this space. So if you see anything that kind of looks like a ladder or a fence in your tree, then you know, do something about it, like change it. So even though you're trying to paint what you see, you're not just copying. You're selecting, and that's what makes you unique. You don't have to worry, you just are unique. You don't have to worry about that for a second. That was something I worried about quite a bit in art school, like, oh, how I'm going to find my voice. But you just have it. It's just there. And I guess, you know, over time, it becomes more irrepressible. It's not like, I don't know, maybe that's what it is. Oh, and I left out this whole tree. I think I was doing things over here that were really part of this tree, but oh well. And I'm mostly drawing from the bottom up. I don't know if that, oh, look, I just drew from the top down, but whoops, and I went too far. And then I got this sucker up here, this tree. Generally speaking, don't leave my charcoal. I usually go over it because it doesn't seem like it holds up as well. It seems like it drops off. It dusts off more. All right, so. But if I don't get every one of these lines covered up, I'm not gonna worry, which might come as a surprise to you. It's a really dark blue. I don't know which one it is, but it's super dark. Don't use much black, hardly ever. Sometimes yes, but mostly no. I have to force myself to pay attention to what I'm doing here and not just start randomly. Maybe it looks random, but I'm not just randomly making. I mean, my marks are, I do want my marks to look random, but I'm trying to control it. It's all like, what's that word? It's all where you say one thing, but it's really another. It's a paradox, I guess. And then I thought, well, I'm just going to try doing some little light ones up here. I feel like I've never been successful at something like this, so it's just, you know, I'm just trying some stuff. I have a real tendency just to not paint. There you go. That's what I mean by not paying attention right there. I just kind of lost my focus for a second and just started. See, I like to be in control. Up here we have some actual leaves, so I'll just change my stroke a little. To show some leaves up there. All right, and then oh yeah, and that guy's got to go up there. Okay, so come back with my white. And so I think sometime in November I was thinking about how the more time you can spend doing stuff you don't really know what you're doing, the better, even though it's pretty uncomfortable. So painting things you don't know how to paint. I'm kind of lucky that way, because if I paint the same thing too long, I kind of get bored. So it's better for me to just keep changing. And I am working from the back to the front now. Yeah, just going to see about maybe using some gray on the roofs back here. They seem really dark. Might have been too warm a gray, might look too much. It looks like light shining on them, doesn't it? But maybe that's okay for some of these. Could have light on them. And the whole thing with houses, if you don't put some windows in, I just think they look weird. So I'm not doing this whole garage situation down here. I don't want to do that, but I'm just gonna, and I'm doing it with charcoal. For that same old reason, I can get rid of it then if I want. It's just like windows are a great clue to what that is, those little shapes. So, and I guess you could say I feel like I need a clue. Whoops, too light. Yeah, sometimes that's a pain in the neck too, is that you spray it and then it's all darker and then everything you pick up is like too light. So I usually put in those little windows and then cut in around them so they don't look like they're on top of the building exactly. And I think maybe this one down here at the end of the street is just too light. Whoa, God, that was lighter than I thought it was going to be. I'll try that. Wow, that would not go down at all. See if this will. Yep. Didn't make my trees make it to the grass. Okay, there we go. Okay, well, you know, okay, I made the trees better, I think, so now I'm going to keep moving forward. And, wow, I just would like to never work on that part again, but I think I need to lie a little bit and have some shadows from those trees. Stone wall, haha. Yeah, okay. Okay, so, yes, coming forward. I think I do need the yellow line in the street. I drew it in initially, but I think I'm going to put it back in. And I'm going to admit that's to help me just to know. And you know what? I'm not going to put this in. It's so much right in the middle where everything ended up. I'm just going to leave out that telephone pole. And I'm trying to make this look like leaves laying on the grass, but okay, tree. Okay, so as things get closer to you, you can see more detail. And that's one way you show that things are closer to you. So maybe you use more of a stroke. And maybe some of these strokes that are just right behind here, like right in here, so that that'll go back. Just take some of the stroke out. Let's see then if I can make this come in front. So it's two things. It's pushing back what's behind and then pulling out what's in front. And just keeping in mind that you can't focus on these two areas at once. You can't focus on that tree, which I cannot get rid of now. I can't focus on that tree, and this tree back here and these leaves right here at the same time. So I'm just going to pull a little more of that orange in front there. And then maybe I won't make it as strong back here where I want it to go behind the house. And it's nice, like I really like the contrast between things that are manufactured and things that are nature, because by making just a little hard edge on the gutter there and hopefully cleaning it up some. I feel like I was having a little trouble making that edge of the roof come forward, but so I'm going to try to get that better. So in landscape, even a pretty close-up scene like this, you're trying to create depth. And, you know, this scene here has way more depth than you're ever going to have indoors. Mainly when you're creating depth, I guess, indoors, you're sort of faking it. You're trying to create more depth than, or, you know, drawing attention to different things by creating more depth than there really is. But when you're outside, that's the thing, is how to make things look like they're further away. And whatever you pay attention to will just pop into focus. Everywhere you look is going to be in focus. So you have to make decisions about what you think is important and where you want the viewer's eye to look. And how you want to show them what you see when you see the scene. Why, like, so hopefully you do such a good job that no one has to ask, why did you want to paint this picture? Anyway, I like that thing about painting nature and things that are manufactured, because then you have the contrast between those kind of lines and these other softer lines. You know, and I probably could have spent more time, come back and redrawn the house and stuff, but I don't know, I just didn't want to. I do need to make sure these things are, these two, oh, Kelly, yeah, try to make sure they're on the same, so same something, so they match right here in the beginning of my painting. And also, I don't want too much going on right down there. I don't want to stop your eye in that corner. This is a minimalist railing, right? They've got like literally one post. Guess there might be one more right here. All right, I don't know. Might look like a giant lives here. And how much you feel like finishing stuff is up to you too. You know, that's not a rule. I try to remind myself, which actually it's not that hard to remind myself because I don't draw that well compared to an architect, but to remind myself that I am not an architect. And that's not the point of what I'm doing anyway. The point for me is the color combinations and the design and the movement. And the relationships of the colors. So I don't know how to, I'm trying to do what I see, but I'm not copying. And I feel like that seems like a contradictory statement. But there's a lot of things I think like that. Like teachers used to say things to me like, you know, don't take me so literally, because yeah, so you have to be careful to not take your teachers literally. And also, anytime somebody tells you that this is what you should be doing, you should maybe, you know, consider that you shouldn't do what they said you should do. It's not rules, it's just suggestions. All right, so I'm trying to do what I see, but I'm not trying to copy what I see. I'm trying to figure out the relationships between the things I see, and I'm trying to figure out what's important to me in the picture. Or I don't think I have to figure that out at all. I think I just am doing what's important to me is what I'm doing. And if it's not important to me, then I'm not doing it. All right, so I'm not thrilled with this color yet, but let's just see. So it's not a big deal to me that this is a shingled house, but maybe I could do a little stroke that would kind of indicate that without having to go wild and paint every shingle. And then down here it's actually clapboards, so maybe I can just add some of those. You know, that color, it just ended up being exactly what I was hoping it would be. But a lot of times I'll pick up a color that is not what I hope it is, and I'll just use it anyway, because why not kind of feeling. See, I know I don't have the doors and windows drawn exactly right, because the middle of them isn't quite right, but boy, dark colors do not really want to go down now. Okay, well, I realize that's attracting too much attention. So I just want this to be done well enough that it doesn't attract attention. I don't want people looking over here and saying, "What is that?" Golly, this is so wrong. See, I've got that too wide right there. I didn't notice it until just now, so I'm not going to fix it now. See, if it was an oil painting, I might be tempted to fix it. I probably would try to fix it, yeah. But it's not an oil painting, so this is, I got the charcoal out again right now. Holy cow. All right, well, I'm just hoping maybe no one else notices the drawing mistakes in here. I'm sure they won't, because now I've drawn so much attention to them. Another problem, you know, I've got sort of stuff down here. I don't know really what's happening right down here, so I guess I need one more stair, one more step maybe. Never really drew this like I should have. And it's just part of the thing of suffering in the beginning with your drawing, and or having to suffer a little later because you were too cavalier. Okay, might be. Hey, all the steps on my porch are so different sizes, different heights, so maybe these are too. It's like, I don't think there always was a porch there. I think it's just since they're divided it up into apartments, maybe. All right, so all I was hoping to do is just make it so you didn't look at that part too much. Okay. I really worry all the time I just sound like such a know-it-all, but I'm really not a know-it-all, and maybe you figured that out, and I just worry about it. But I'm just, I don't know, just doing my best. And oh, I see, maybe this comes out the furthest here, actually, where the bush is the tallest. Yeah, that's what happens. So like that, I don't know what those shadows are supposed to do, but so I just had to take another look and see if I could figure it out a little better. All right, and we've also been talking about this idea from this book I'm reading, Paris in Ruins, A History of, or the Birth of Impressionism, but of not continuing to work on a painting until you get it to the embalming stage, which is a pretty graphic description, I think. So maybe making a conscious decision not to work too long, which is really hard for me because I just feel like I should keep going until it's just perfect, but that's silly. So I'm going to be spending some more time looking at Bertha Morisot's paintings. Okay, that's too much though. I really like the idea that the curtains were just halfway across on that room, but and I don't know if it's oh, wait a minute. Wow, somewhere I bought a new white charcoal pencil. And I could have sworn I brought it in here with me, but now I don't see it. All right, well, anyway, that would be a good thing for if you wanted to do more of these little thingies. A white charcoal pencil is a good thing. I'm using, I just kind of caught a good edge here of this pastel. Whoa. And then I don't know what that line is, but that's got to go. Oh, that's got to go too right there. That's like screaming for attention here. I just wonder if I just get rid of it that way. No, that is not making it better. That is called making it worse. Okay, so that's just part of the porch. That's what's confusing. And then the white is, you just see a tiny bit of the white here. Always in the left-hand corner. Well, I don't know. Okay, I'm hoping that no one's going to look on that corner. And, you know, maybe if this was more of a real picture, I would just wait till like right now, what happens is I'm tired by now, and I need to get away. So we would just have some grass here. Kind of cover up that down there. And I don't like the way that looks either, so. And this white part is just too wide, I think. Let's just knock that down a little, do something there. Golly, and I just got that one white line. Control. Okay, I'm going to be done. And probably you could say to yourself, nothing you've done just lately has made it any better. Wait, I'm just going to do one more thing. Okay, great. Okay, thanks a lot. And I know I did better than last time because my head, I'm pretty sure, is not in this drawing. So thanks a lot for watching.